Hello and welcome to the Athlete First Media Podcast. Today I am joined amongst a lot of things that have happened as we tried to start this, but I'm joined by Dawson Curtis of Ellsworth High School. Dawson, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I want to say right off the bat, obviously, you had a great year. You did your thing. I'm interested to hear, obviously, with the heartbreak of how this year ended, what stuck out most to you about this previous year?
Honestly, I think what stuck out most to me was the bonds that I made with my teammates this year. I think this was the closest group of guys I've ever been on a team with, and I thought that was really special about this year, even with coming up short in the end.
What do you remember exactly from that game? I mean, you have to remember quite a bit. Not that long ago, and also in the heartbreaking fashion it occurred.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind throughout that game?
I mean, obviously at the start and throughout the entire game until the very last inning, it was an upbeat game. I was happy. We were in a good spot, and then they got things to go their way in the last inning, and they ended up taking it from us.
I'm interested because obviously the unfortunality of it all is like you are playing most of the game in the field, and then you come on, and it just seemed to be just not your day after a great season. I mean, you had an incredible year, and then all for all that to like end that way. What does that do to you? Because I mean, that has to be heartbreaking, and also like you have to feel like, oh man, like that's my fault, even though it's not, because baseball's so much more than one
Yeah.
inning.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've always been taught by my dad that I need to move on after mistake, and that was definitely the toughest game to move on from, for
Yeah, I
sure.
bet.
That was my worst outing on the mound all year, but I mean, they still needed to do their thing, and they got hits when they needed to, and they happened to be the better team in that last inning, and that won them the game.
As this year progressed, I think it was kind of an interesting. You guys were in an interesting position, right? I mean, Class B was really good, and what like did you guys expect to be there at the end? What was the expectations for you guys as it sat for you?
I mean, honestly, when the year started, we were after the first three games, we were 1-2. We couldn't score runs, and we were barely scratching by teams all year that we should have been beaten by a lot. And
Yep.
we
Yep.
were we were scared about missing the playoffs at the start of the season, to be completely honest.
Well, yeah, from the outsider perspective, I talked a lot to Jackson this year. Uh, he and I connected early on. I don't I don't know how he hasn't been on the podcast yet. I don't think he's been on the podcast yet. Anyways, but yeah, I was able to like have an insight to like how you guys were going, and obviously like the early season struggles were, like you said, raging their ugly head. I mean, the pitching was fantastic, and I mean up until like to the end, you guys' pitching was fantastic. I mean, obviously the one hiccup in that game, obviously, is that one inning that you and Jackson just couldn't combine to get out of,
Yeah.
and it just kept rolling. But outside of that, it was the year of you guys out pitching basically everybody. Um, what was that like? As someone who plays both sides of the ball, right? You pitch and you hit. What was it like to like? You're part of the pitching, but you're also part of like the hitting struggle that's also struggling. It's gotta be weird.
It was a little weird. We had a lot of talks at practice, and our pitcher spoke out on it. We were in a good spot pitching wise all year. We knew that, as you said, and our coaches really keyed in on that. But we'd had talks with the team. We're like, we need to get going. This amount of pressure, we're not going to be able to pitch at the level we're capable of if we have this much pressure on us every game.
Well, yeah, and I mean to the magnitude that it ended up being, right? I mean, that's kind of like the story of the Greeley game. Obviously, it ends up falling apart, but you guys could never really put like you couldn't like, snuff them out completely
Yeah,
offensively. Like you had chances. I think the inning before everything went awry. I think you guys had the bases loaded, and I think maybe you only got one run or something like. Maybe that was the ninth, but one of the last few innings you guys had the bases loaded and didn't get a whole lot out of it. Which I mean, again, was just like the microcosm of your year, right? You knew eventually the pitching wasn't going to be able to carry you any further because the offense had to do it. So I mean, that has to be you guys go to end of season awards with the team. It's got to be a somber feeling. I have to imagine.
yeah. It was Yeah, it was a weird year, to be honest. But in the playoffs, I think a lot of it was our hitting saved us in that Northern Maine game, especially
Oh
against
yeah,
Herman.
yeah.
But it was a good time for our hitting to start. And honestly, we started off the game hitting well against Greeley, and it's like we got complacent.
100%. Well, and that's the hard thing too, right? Because I mean, that's kind of what Greeley did all year. I mean, they did it the game before that, and I think they did it the game before that too. All playoffs long, they were just continuously coming back, like getting the starters out of the game and forcing people to come in relief, and it worked for them time and time again. And obviously happened to work on the day when you guys played them. But talk to me a little bit about the Herman Northern Maine game, because obviously they were cruising. They were an interesting one too, because I mean, a team that like everybody knew was going to be good, but they during the regular season they didn't seem to be able to beat the good teams. They would always seem to fall short, and then obviously still dangerous. What was that game like for you?
That Herman game, honestly, going in, I was a little nervous because the first time we played them, we beat them 1-0, and then the
Yeah,
second time we lost in extra innings.
yeah.
So I was a little nervous going into that game because they're a talented group of guys and they always have good pitching. We knew Max
Yeah.
Hopkins was throwing that game; he's a great pitcher. But our bats were going that day, and it saved us, to be honest.
Well, I think it's interesting too, because I mean, we could talk all day about like how you guys got to the state championship game. But I think the start of that's the most interesting part of me. Obviously, you have Lawrence in the prelim, and that's whatever. I think you guys were expected to win that one. But then you get to Old Town, who is probably the heavy favorite in a lot of people's eyes. They had a fantastic year, not losing many games. I was at a game they played against Bangor at Bangor. Um, familiar opponent for you guys as well. But you guys split the season series with Old Town too. But that made a statement. So like, what was that like going into that game?
Well, I'd say we're rivals. We
Yeah,
always go at it in baseball. I
yeah,
mean, the first game we played them, we knew it was second game of the year. We didn't have our stuff that day. Our me and Braden weren't didn't have our stuff on the mound, and our bats weren't going. And then we played them at Old Town. We beat them pretty well, so we were actually pretty confident going into that game. But we knew it was gonna be a tough game because they're a great group of guys.
yeah. And then obviously 11-2, and all of a sudden you're headed to another main game. Gotta be kind of weird though, right? I mean, like you said, like the bats all year weren't thumping, and then all of a sudden they started to thump when you got playoffs. For first two games you scored 10 plus runs. It's gotta be weird. Like what's going through your mind after the first two games?
After the first two games, I was so happy and I was very confident in our team. Like if we kept hitting the same way we did in those first two games, if we hit like that in the state game, I mean, we win that game by a fair amount, even with the
100%.
laps at the end of the game.
Yeah, 100%. I'm interested to hear your perspective, because I think me sitting here at home, obviously I can say whatever, and I'm not in the dugout and all of that stuff. But from the outsider's perspective, and I'm watching that game on TV because I was very interested to see. Again, I followed you guys all year. So, sitting here watching that game, the start of that inning is like, okay, are we gonna like start off somebody coming out of the bullpen? It
Mhm.
felt like just put in a closer. Coach tries to get the out and doesn't, and then brings you in for the lefty. What was going through your mind in that moment? Because it seemed like there was a conversation at the mound between everybody when it started to happen. Not that there was like an argument or anything, but there was some rumblings of like who was going in and what was going on in that.
I honestly, when I come in relief, I usually am pretty confident. I was confident that day, but I mean, the nerves were pumping a little bit.
I'll have to imagine. Yeah,
Yeah, and there was a lot of conversation because they weren't sure who they were gonna toss between me or Jackson.
yeah,
And they were going back and forth about it because me and Jackson were going in the pen, uh, inning by inning.
yeah.
Um, but I think something was bothering him, and that's why the conversation was so long. Like something in his arm that day.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That was the weird part to me, obviously, because like at home, especially at like the high school level, it's so hard to have somebody come out of the bullpen in the middle of an inning, because you can't just take them out to go get them warmed up and then bring them
Mhm.
back in. It's not how the rules work. You can't do that. So it's always interesting to me to like try to bring somebody in mid inning. Was that was that hard for you? Have you done that a lot during the year or no?
During the year, I didn't do that too much. Usually, when I came in relief, it was the last inning, and we were saving a guy so we could throw in a few days. But usually, that doesn't. I mean, I don't think it affects me a crazy amount, but it is a little better to just come straight from warming up to the mound for sure.
Well, and like the at bat that preceded that was a longer at bat too. I mean, I think it was like a 8 pitch walk. I think is what it
Hmm.
ended up being. Like just a brutal at bat to then like then be like, all right, somebody get on the mound. Like it's got to be. I would just imagine it would be very hard to like get yourself. All right, here we go. And I gotta get warm. Got my few pitches to get warm,
Yeah.
and then we're going.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit difficult, especially where I think there was 2 runners on when I came
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
if I'm
there
not
was.
mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there was.
So that's a little different. I'm not a huge fan of coming on with runners on.
Fair, fair.
But yeah.
What was the what was your mentality like? I mean, obviously it's like, okay, I gotta shut this thing down. But you had wiggle room. I mean, I think you guys were up like 5-2, I think, right at that point.
I think it was 5-1.
5-1. Yeah, say it
Yeah.
was 5-1 or 5-2. You had the wiggle room. What was the perspective from you? Like that's gotta be hard too because like yes, you're coming into like a big situation, but also like the lead's big enough where if this guy hits a 3-run jack, you still got wiggle room there.
Yeah.
Like, what was that like for you?
I was trying to attack. I didn't really have my stuff that day. I was just trying to attack the hitters. I knew the heart of the order was coming up,
Yeah,
and I was just trying to get an out, and they just weren't hitting into outs when they put the ball in play. Other than the couple of walks I had that inning, I think they
yeah,
had 3 hits or something like that
yeah,
that
yeah.
inning.
Well, that was the. I mean, I don't know how much of you followed them while they were doing their run. Obviously, you were playing, so that helps. But like that was kind of their thing was putting the ball. Like their BABIP had to have been incredibly high in the playoffs. Like it had to have been ridiculous because, I mean, every time, and that baseball gods are on their side for sure. Every time they came up, the meat of the order, the heart of the order, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
was coming up in the
Yeah,
biggest moments. It was like, okay, well, yeah, these guys have produced all year. Why wouldn't they produce again?
yeah,
Which makes your job harder,
yeah.
harder when you have to come in and face the heart of the order in a big moment. Did you feel like during the year? Because I know it was kind of like I think it was an interesting year for you pitching wise. You had a lot of success, but then you had like some games where there's like blips, and you
hmm
would but you'd rebound the next game. What was this year like for you as a whole?
Honestly, as a whole, reflected pretty positively. Because even my lapse games, I seem to have a solid mindset, and we were still in the game. So, I mean, I wasn't too mad, and I threw a lot more innings this year than I have in previous years. So I threw a fair amount in relief this year too, and I was happy about pitching for the most part. I just had I think it was Old Town Foxcroft in the regular season. I just wasn't sharp in those 2 games, but
Well, that's the hard part too, right? Because at the Class B level, it's real hard to have an off day because there's a lot of
yeah,
really good hitters in Class B that make that really difficult.
yeah. There's a lot of good hitters, and it's even tougher that there's a lot of good pitchers in our class because you fall behind by a few runs in our class, you're not going to win a game.
No, no, you're gonna be completely shipwrecked. I
Yeah.
almost said ship sunk. That's not the word I was looking for. I say you struggled, and I think I want to put that in perspective because it wasn't like you got shelled. I mean, you ended the year with a .93 ERA. For those who didn't know, the fourth best in the class for qualified pitchers, from what I've collected at the end of the year. Just above a 1 WHIP, and your BAA was 157. So very good. Not walking a whole bunch of people, not allowing a whole lot of hits. Looking forward now, you obviously just committed officially to Husson. How did that whole process go for you? I mean, obviously you got the in, but talk to me about how that went about.
Uh, well, I definitely have the end. I've been to that school so many times,
Oh, I can
and
imagine.
it kind of feels like home to me, honestly. I think that was a lot of my decision. I mean, Shug is a great coach. He's gonna do a great job taking over there, and my visit went amazingly well, and it just felt like a place where I want to be.
Yeah. What was the recruiting process looking like for you?
Me and Shug talked a lot after he went to just about every Legion game of mine. I
Hey.
talked to him a lot after those, and we had a lot of nice text messages over the phone, and then I made my decision. I talked to my parents, and then I called him up and let him know that I was committing to him, and that was awesome. It was a good phone call.
I love it. What did the other prospective schools look like? Were you in a similar like level, or did you have higher level offers maybe that you just chose like weren't as good of fits?
Um, The other school that I really liked was USM. I thought it was a great school. I know they have a
Yeah,
great baseball program
for
there.
sure.
Heath's gonna do a good job, and he did the
Yeah,
last year he coached, but
yeah,
it just didn't feel like home like Husson does to me
fair.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah. We've talked a little bit about it in texting back and forth, but obviously your brother now holds some records over there, so it gives you a little extra motivation as you are about to embark on your last steps. Obviously, have one more year to go, but have you talked with your brother a lot about like, oh, like now I got a chance to come in and do something similar?
I mean, those records that he set are gonna be
Yeah,
pretty
they're
tough
pretty.
to get
Yeah,
near those. Those are
they're
pretty
pretty
good
incredible.
records. I don't really necessarily talk trash in that way because I need a lot of game to back that one up.
Fair, that's fair.
But I mean, I like picking them apart about Hassan and all their baseball practices and stuff, just to see really what it was like, which is also helpful,
Yeah, I
was
have to
very
imagine.
helpful in my decision making.
How what was it like growing up with a family like that? I mean, you and all your brothers are just fantastic baseball players. What is that like?
I mean, it was awesome. Baseball and basketball, when I was younger,
Yeah.
I'd always go out and play with my brothers, and it was a phenomenal time. And I mean, they're the reason I give them all the credit, them and my father, for the way I play baseball today. Is back when Jackson was in Little League, he was throwing hard, and I was like 5 years old, and I was standing up there with a helmet, catcher's gear on, and I was swinging at it. I mean, it was just like the fun times and experience with my brothers that I think got me where I am today, baseball wise.
Yeah, and where did the love for baseball start for you? Because I mean, obviously you were able to look at them, but how did you like make it your own?
I mean, watching them was a lot of it for sure, and then learning about dad playing baseball in high school and college at Hassan. Surprise.
Yeah.
Learning about all that, I think it just engraved it in my mind, and then when I was playing it, I just loved it so much from such a young age.
Did you always play both, or were you? When did you learn to start pitching?
Um, I pitched pretty much from the moment like I started right after farm league, like minor league. We call it minor leagues here.
Gotcha.
I started pitching then when I was like 7, and I've kind of just loved it, so I just kept
Fair.
doing it.
What is the goals on your list as you like enter this last year of high school? What is the goals that you want to knock down before you walk out?
I mean, basketball wise, because can't forget about that season.
100%.
I think we're gonna have a sneaky good year this year.
Yeah.
There's a kid that transferred into Ellsworth. He's a very good ball player.
Oh,
Yep.
are we allowed to
And
say who it is?
I mean, I can, but he went to GSA last year. His name's
Got you.
Colby Eaton.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, he's a very good basketball player. So that should be helpful. I mean, obviously he didn't transfer for basketball, but
Yeah,
it'll
yeah,
be helpful on the court for sure.
for sure. But
And
it's gonna be helpful too because I mean they're just down the road from you guys, aren't they?
um
Well, I mean
yeah, GSA is about
they're like I'll say they're
25
like the
minutes.
closest one that would like come down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a great ball player. I think we could definitely make a good playoff run this winter. I mean, obviously everyone hopes to win states, and I really do because we have a crazy drought at Ellsworth, but
Yeah. I think that's interesting too because I mean obviously you're a great baseball player, but I mean I think because of your brothers and your dad and the name and all of that, like everyone looks at the baseball side of things, right? Um, it's gotta be nice to have like that kind of like not as much pressure on the basketball court. I have to imagine.
yeah, I think this winter's gonna be fun. I got my college commitment out of the way, and
Yeah,
it's my last year of basketball, and I think I'm just gonna have a great time with it.
I want to talk because we're on basketball and I want to talk a little bit about. I mean, obviously you happen to play with a great player, for basketball wise as well, um, and you guys came very close. I mean, you guys were the favorites, and obviously you're right into the powerhouse that was Orno that decided to win a bunch of championships in a row. But what was that like to be part of those teams? Because those teams were dang good.
Yeah, I mean, my freshman and sophomore year, we got knocked out by Orno both years,
Yep.
but I mean, it was a good time. We had a very competitive team. Like even at practices, we made everything as competitive as possible.
Yeah.
And when you have a guy out there like Chance who worked that hard and was
Yeah.
that good of a scorer, I mean, we could beat anybody, but sometimes we over relied on him.
For
And I
sure.
think that's why we fell short both years, honestly.
Yeah, and I think last year you guys kind of had that not necessarily underdog mentality, right? But like
Yeah.
there wasn't like as much eyes on you guys, so you guys were
Yeah.
able to like kind of just play, which seemed to make you guys play better. Not that you were better without Chance, not what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I think last year was honestly awesome. It was like we didn't have to run our offense through anyone, so we didn't
yeah,
care who scored. We just did our thing out there. We just had a bad playoff game.
yeah, that was a tough one.
That was a horrible game.
I mean, hey, that happens when you get to the cross center floor. I mean, anything can happen. So,
Yeah, definitely.
um, going into this year basketball wise, and obviously you just said you have to transfer from GSA, obviously, but you lose Jeremiah. He just left for college, right? He's a hustling this year, right? Or was he 2 years ago?
Hollis,
No, I mean Hollis too.
Hollis and Braden,
Okay, who?
and then Kyle Kenny, the kid that. Did you see that
Yes,
big posterizer dunk at MDI?
yes, yeah,
Yeah, that was Kyle.
yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Who am I thinking of? My brain is just who knows. I'm all over the place. But yeah, so I mean, obviously you have to replace some things. What does it look like this year for you guys?
I mean, we have a group of athletes. I
Yeah.
think I think that'll be a great time. We got some underclassmen that are gonna have big roles that I think they could definitely fulfill.
Okay.
Yep.
And what about the baseball year? Because I mean, obviously, I have to imagine you guys will be relative favorites. You returned a
Yeah.
lot of what you had.
Yeah.
Obviously the two being the biggest of you and Jackson. What's the outlook for you guys, do you think, there?
I think that my father says it best about our baseball program. He always says we don't ever rebuild, we reload. And
Fair.
I think even the positions that we're losing, we have people to fill those gaps. As big as some of those guys are that we lost, I think
Yeah.
some of those underclassmen that were sitting under them watching them play last year will do great things this year.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about what the future outside of sports looks like for you. What are you doing at Hudson? Like, what are you majoring in?
I'm gonna major in business management.
Okay. What are you thinking you want to do with it?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm kind of going into it because it's like a general study. I mean, my dad's a manager and he seems to like what he does. So, I
Fair
mean,
enough.
I don't, I'm definitely more interested in that side of the field. I'm also interested in like the financial part of the like life, like, you know,
Yeah, yeah, I
yeah.
feel you. Do you think you'd want to like own your own business someday, or just like work for like within a business?
I think I'd like be very happy with doing either of those.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If you could have your own business, dream business, what is it?
Oof, gosh. Honestly, like a cool business would be like some sort of training facility.
Okay.
like like kind of what Baxter runs here, but like baseball wise, on
Yeah.
basketball is
Yeah, yeah. There's plenty of basketball trainers
exactly.
in
We
the
got
state of Maine.
plenty of them.
Yeah. I think it's interesting you say that because I've talked to obviously a bunch of baseball players. The interesting view on baseball in Maine, right? I mean, there's not a whole lot of there's not as much respect that's given to the baseball players as there is to the basketball players. What's that like for you as someone who like dabbles your feet in both worlds?
I don't know. I think that Maine's just slept on in all sports. I think that we have a bunch of great athletes, but since we're small in population, we don't tend to have super popular guys. But I think we have plenty of guys that could play with out of staters.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the D1 guys who are going and playing wherever they
Yeah,
want to. I mean, you get a Vanderbilt, multiple Vanderbilt guys. Obviously, Cody Belker, who I had on here, just
yeah,
he got drafted by the Phillies and he's doing his thing down there right now
yeah. That's pretty
in
sick.
Florida. So I mean, yeah, it's there's so much talent in Maine. It's just got to be on top. Oh, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about obviously Cody, who just got called up by the Twins and
Yeah,
who played at Maine
yep.
and is now in the big leagues. And I think he went 2 innings, 2 Ks. I think is what I saw. So I mean, the talent is there. It's
Yeah,
just
definitely.
for some reason that we don't get the looks. I don't know what that is necessarily, but
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but it's kind of like I mean the ones that get the looks are those guys that go do all the extra stuff. Like
Yeah.
one of my buddies is Colin Sullivan. I mean, he's going to
Oh
Georgetown.
my lord, yeah,
That's
he's
pretty
yeah,
sweet.
oh, he's incredible.
Yeah, he's awesome.
What was it like playing against him, pitching to him?
I only pitched against him for one at bat this year, and I located well that at bat, and he hit a ground ball that he just beat out in the infield. So I
Of
wasn't
course
mad
he did.
about it. He
Of course
didn't
he
he
did.
didn't hit one too hard off of me, so I wasn't too mad about it. But
That's fair. He's such an interesting player too. I mean, obviously, like just all of the tools too.
yeah,
Incredible.
yeah, he is. He is.
Okay, I want to hear. I was double checking the time on. Yeah, perfect. I want to do some fun things, out of sports, in sports, whatever. But I have a segment that I do. It's this or that, and then I have some questions that are like fun questions. Who is your favorite player all time?
My favorite all-time player is 100% David Ortiz.
Okay, that's fair.
I was, oh gosh, I don't even remember what year he retired. I was pretty young. It was
14.
14, yeah. I was, yeah, 7 years old, makes sense. He was always my favorite
No,
player
that's a
watching
lie.
him.
That's a lie. 17. This is last year.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
I
So I would
was
have been
there.
like
Yeah.
10. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. But he was always my favorite player, and the day he retired, I was a mess. It was It was bad because I mean, growing up watching a bigger left-handed guy just hit home runs all the time. I thought it was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I the best thing ever. So I I really only started getting into baseball like 13. Great
Hmm.
time to be a Red Sox fan, obviously, because
Yep.
they win World Series in 13. But it was because of my grandfather, and so I'd go over there and watch sports with him, and obviously fell in love with Big Poppy immediately. And then during 2017, I was lucky enough to know, like my family was lucky enough to know a guy who like sold tickets for the Red Sox.
Hmm.
And so like if there was open seats the night before, he would give us to him for free, like not free, but very cheap. And so we'd ride down the night before, stay in a hotel in Boston, and then go in. And so the 17 year, I think I went to like 7 or 8 games, which is the most I've ever been to in a single season. And just seeing Big Poppy that whole time in his retirement season, I have a shirt that obviously no longer fits me because that was a long time ago, but of like his jersey retirement, and I have
Yeah.
a piece of his jersey from his final game and stuff.
Hmm.
So I'm a big Poppy fan myself. I will never forget. The reason I remember is 2017, even though I said 14 at first, was 16. The Indians go to the World Series, obviously lose, and 17, the Red Sox lose to the Indians in the playoffs in the wild card, and that's Big Poppy's last
Yeah.
games in Cleveland. I guess they get blown out. They get the
Yeah.
doors blown off them, but
Yeah.
Lord. What's your favorite sports memory from being a kid?
Gosh. I think the my favorite sports memory, I'm a all New England, like Boston Patriots, all that stuff. My favorite memory was the Atlanta Falcons Patriots Super Bowl,
Okay.
100%. I gave up
Okay.
on the game. I was like banging my head off the wall. I was so mad. I was so mad, and then they somehow came back, and I literally couldn't believe it. That was unbelievable.
That's wild. I don't think I've ever actually tell the story on the podcast before. But so I at the time I was in youth group or whatever. Like I was a kid, so I was like hanging around with other teenagers and stuff. And I was over at somebody's house for the Super Bowl, and like we had like a pool where like we would guess the final score and who would win. Um, and I got the exact score right, but the wrong team. I had it as
Ah,
the Falcons winning, and so it was like that was hilarious. But like I feel like I was at the party that I was at. I was the only one who continued to watch. Everybody
mhm,
else was off doing things,
yeah,
socializing stuff. I was the only one who continued to watch, and I was like, "Oh, here we go. They're coming back. Like this is crazy. Yeah, nuts. I will never forget like where I was that night.
yeah, yeah. That was an unbelievable game. I couldn't even uh, I still can't even process it today.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
unreal to ever think they came back from that.
Oh, literally, completely nuts. I mean, you don't see that, especially not in the Super Bowl. You don't see that.
No, ever.
Are you? Do you watch a lot of football now too, or no?
Yeah, I watch a lot of football. I'm a avid fantasy football player. Like I try to play as much as I
Cool.
can.
Okay, wait. Are you filming on your phone right now?
I am, yeah.
Oh, dang! I was gonna ask you what your fantasy lineup looked like. Do you know?
I don't know if I can remember off the top of my head. I know in the league that like I put as my top priority. I had the number one pick, so I have Chase, which is
Me,
sweet.
I have Chase in one of mine. Yeah,
Yeah, he had a bad week one, but he bounced back this week for sure.
yeah, for sure. Interesting now with Joe Burrow out, but
Yeah, I don't like that for them, but
3 months potentially is
yeah, that's
brutal.
not good.
Okay, so what is? Give me very early week 2 weeks in. Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Ooh,
Who's playing and who's winning in the Super Bowl?
I don't know. I like hate the Eagles so much, but like I could see them back in the Super Bowl. They're the most talented team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Them and the Ravens, in my opinion, are the two most talented teams. But the Ravens can't win in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. I'm a huge Steelers fan, which is weird, I know, but I've told the story of why I am on the podcast a couple times. Basically, like I didn't have anyone who I knew who like liked football growing up, and so I just started playing Madden, and it was back when like they had Brown, Bell, and Big Ben, so I
Yeah,
just fell in love with them. But yeah, I watching the Ravens. I mean, we played the Ravens twice a year, and like even when Kenny Pickett was the quarterback, the Steelers were still beating the Ravens. So it's weird. They just can't win big games. They've never been able to,
no,
other than the 1 year with Joe Flacco, which will
yeah,
make no sense ever. But
yeah. They can't win big games even in week one this year. Losing that game to the
nuts.
Bills.
How do
Yeah,
you lose that game?
yeah. That was
That
that
was
was
like the
horrible.
Falcons game. I at home. There's about 3 minutes left, and they're down 2 touchdowns. I was like, I'm turning this thing off. Like Ravens had the ball. I was like, I fell asleep. I was like, I don't care. I woke up. I must have heard like the announcer screaming or something. I woke up. I was like, huh? What's happening? I look at the score and I'm like, what in the world happened here?
Yeah, that was
Nuts.
unbelievable. That I don't even know how that happened.
What do you think of the Patriots so far?
God. I think that week one loss is horrible for them.
Brutal. That was
Like,
awful.
if they had any chance of making the playoffs, they need to beat the teams that they need to beat, and that is a
Correct.
game they have to win. And
Correct.
they didn't. So that was a bad start. And they barely beat the Dolphins, which was gross too. So
So gross.
because the
That
Dolphins are
game.
horrible.
The Dolphins are horrible. Yeah, that division is real bad. Outside
Yeah,
of
it
the
went it
Bills,
went down the drain real quick.
real quick. Um, what about the baseball side of things? What do you think about the World Series? Who's gonna win?
You know, as much as I want my Sox to win, they're not going to.
I mean, they may not even make the playoffs with the way they're closing the
No,
season, but
no, they might not. I hate the Dodgers, but like
oh,
they're
gross.
so they're so good. It's gonna be hard. I could see the Brewers. The Brewers get hot
The Brewers are
in
so weird.
spurts.
Like the
Yeah,
fact that the fact that they are the best team in baseball at this point in the year,
yeah.
with
It's doesn't make any
no,
sense.
outside of Jacob Mizorowski, they didn't have a single. Oh, I guess William Contreras, but they didn't have anybody else who was a All Star. But you have one actual All Star and one late replacement All Star, like, and you're the best team in the league is wild.
Yeah, it's weird. They just like all hit together at the same time. It's odd
Yes,
to watch.
yeah. What about the AL side of things? Who thinks coming out of the AL?
I
AL's
think
a
the Blue
mess.
Jays are fraudulent. Yeah, the AL is an actual mess. I think anyone could win it. My thing
100%.
is I think my sleeper team in the AL, if they make the wild cards, the Mariners, because their pitching staff is
Incredible.
unreal.
Yeah, and the pitching staff is hot right now. They are pitching extremely well. And the issue again, and which is always the Mariners' issue, is they forget to hit for random
Yep.
periods of time.
Mhm.
They can't hit anything.
But if their bats get hot, like adding Suarez and Bell was huge for them power
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah, well, and Naylor too, right? I mean, he's
Oh
been
yeah, that's what I meant. I meant to say Naylor
yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
yeah, I got you. I mean, he's been incredible since he's gotten over. So weird because I mean, this could be the first time in a long time that we don't have like the Astros in the playoffs, which would be very weird because the Rangers are right behind them.
hmm
Be weird.
Yeah, I think the AL is very wide open. It's just whoever gets hot.
Yeah, I mean the number one team in the AL has 87 wins. That tells you
Yeah.
tells you enough. With less than 2 weeks to go, and we're well, roughly 2 weeks to go, around that, where the best team in the AL has 87 wins. That's
Yeah, it's
tough.
gross.
Yeah, it's gross. What do we think of the Phillies?
I think that they're like a weird team. I don't
They're
know.
so weird.
They're like either the best team in baseball or they'll get blown out because friggin' Lazardo always gets every other game he gets lit up.
Oh, it's so weird. He'll look like the best pitcher in baseball
Yeah.
for a start, and then look awful for
Yeah.
3 weeks, and then be great again.
I think it was the last time he threw. He got shelled, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. But
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
Wild. I think it's interesting. Baseball this year is so wide open. Like it truly feels like there's no one who's like standing out as the best team in baseball right now.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, oopsies.
Like, I mean, the Dodgers, obviously they're the Dodgers, but they haven't even had that great a year. 84 wins for a team who I think everybody was like, oh, they're going to win 100 plus games
Yeah.
again this year. Like, interesting year for baseball. But
Yeah, baseball's odd, but
I mean, you know well enough that not always the best team wins. So,
that's very true.
okay, the next one is your favorite teammate of all time.
Ooh. Ooh, that is tough. Oh gosh. I think I'm gonna have to jeez. After this year, especially, I mean, I've grown up with this kid, he's my best friend. I'd say Luke Horn. Especially this year, stepping into that catcher role when
Yeah,
I hadn't caught his whole high school career.
yeah,
He's he's what we defined as a team and our coaches called him. He's a dog. Like he does whatever he's asked and he does it very well.
yeah. Well, love that. Who's the best player you've played with?
Colin, definitely. Colin
Fair,
Sullivan without a doubt. Yeah,
fair.
he's pretty fun to watch play.
Yeah, I bet. In the dugout has to be incredible.
But yeah.
Watching him from inside the dugout has to be the best thing ever.
My favorite's when I'm at first and he's at short and he throws the ball about 95 at me and I'm like, okay,
My lord,
yeah.
you're like, okay, relax.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Who's the best player you've played against? And you can't say Colin again.
I think that the Kyle Soul kid from
Yeah,
Greeley is unbelievable.
he is. He's
He's a great baseball player.
very good. Who is your biggest inspiration?
Honestly, I think my oldest brother Jackson because of the way he loved the game and I watched him play since he was in Little League and
Yeah.
he was always unbelievable and he had a crazy passion and I think that really inspires me and he helps me every day whenever whatever he's doing if I wanted to go hit and my dad was willing to toss Jackson would come over and give me tips on my swing and I think that's huge for me.
Um. Okay, who's the funniest teammate you have at the moment? And give me a
Funniest.
story.
Oh, gosh, I don't know how many stories I have. Oh, actually, okay. So my funniest teammate, baseball wise, 100% Caleb Jordan.
Okay.
He's one of my good buddies.
Okay.
We had a practice, so it was winding down in the gym, and we have a dance class at our school.
What?
Yeah, yeah, that's a elective class. It's like a performing
Interesting.
art. Yeah, so Caleb Jordan and Daniel Lindsay performed their dance in front of our team, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh, that's
Because
awesome.
they purposely made their dance like cringy, so it
Of
was
course, yeah,
hilarious.
100%.
It was so funny.
Is there video of it?
No, unfortunately, I don't think anyone got a video.
No one decided to pull their phone out. What are we doing?
No, I know. We were ready to break down a huddle, and all of us were gathered up, and there was people still hitting in the cage. We were waiting for them to get done, so they did their they did their dance in it. So no one
They
had their
made
phones
sure
on them.
nobody could. Yeah, I'll say no one. They made sure nobody had their phones on them.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to do a little bit of this or that, and then I'll let you get out of here.
All right.
Are we a eat in or an eat out?
Ooh, I love eating out with my buddies.
Okay.
I think it's a great time.
Where's the go-to spot?
Lately in Ellsworth, it's been crazy sumo.
Okay.
Yep,
Really?
it's good. It's very good.
Okay.
Or the
I see it every time I drive by, but
yeah, or the classic McDonald's
yeah,
with the guys. Yeah,
yeah.
can't go wrong.
What's the go-to meal after a game? Just finish a game. Need some food in you. What are you eating?
Just finish a game. Usually our teams go on McDonald's.
Okay.
It's pretty cheap and it's quick.
100%.
But the meal there, I usually get a McDouble with some fries.
Okay. Some
Something
light.
easy. Yeah.
Okay. Um, baseball This is watching. Baseball or football?
I think I prefer. It depends. I prefer regular season football over regular season baseball, but
Agreed.
playoff baseball over playoff
Nothing like it.
football.
Yeah, nothing like playoff baseball.
Yeah,
Um, a bat in your hand or a glove in your hand?
it's a tough one.
100%.
There's so much you can do with a glove. Like making great plays, so fun, but definitely the bat.
Okay.
Definitely the bat.
Uh, massive home run, like moonshot homer, or legging out a triple.
Moonshot homer for sure.
Okay.
There's nothing. There's nothing like it. Nothing
Okay.
like it.
Okay. Steal of home or little league home?
Steal home. The Little League home runs are rough because you're winded, run around the bases, and you didn't
Yeah,
even do anything really successful usually. Usually they just threw the ball around. So like
that's fair. Okay. Um, catching or throwing? Would you rather like make a great catch or make a great throw? That's, I guess, is the better way of saying that.
where I play first, I'd say great catch because like if you save a run scooping a ball, there's no feeling quite like it. And your short, usually it's your shortstop that makes a bad throw. They come over and give you a hug, and that's a great feeling because you're like, wow, I just saved him.
Yeah. He owes me everything on the way home.
Exactly. He owes me a McDouble from McDonald's.
Okay. Oh, I just had one in my head. Oh, it was a good one too. Oh no. Oh, I had a good one too. Gosh darn it. It went along the lines of what we were just talking about too. Okay. Diving catch or home run rob?
I think I had home run robbery just because it saves the run
Yeah,
and you make your pitcher very happy.
that's true.
Diving catches are electric
100%.
though, but definitely a home run robbery.
Okay. Fastball or curveball? That's the one I meant to ask earlier. Fastball or curveball?
That's tough. I'd say, I mean, I'd still say fastball because that's kind of the pitch you kind of have to
Yeah.
rely on.
Yeah.
But a good curveball is better than a good fastball for sure.
Okay. Paul Skeen's splinker or Clayton Kershaw's curveball?
I think Skeen's splinker just because he
Okay.
throws it at a crazy velocity. Kershaw's curveball is unreal at 70 miles an hour though.
Yeah, it's stupid. Let's go like weird pitches. Knuckleball or forkball? Neither are thrown
I
very often.
I think that knuckleball is pretty sick when they're thrown properly.
Yeah, 100%. Wood bat or metal bat?
Uh, I love swinging a wood, but definitely an aluminum bat for sure.
Okay. Um, would you rather have a wall scraper homer or would you rather have an inside the Parker?
Wall scraper homer, because then you don't got to sprint around the bases.
That's so fair. Perfect game or immaculate inning?
Definitely a perfect game.
What about 20 strikeout game versus perfect game?
Hmm, that's tough. 20 Ks is unreal. If it was a 20K shutout, I think I'd take the 20K shutout.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather strike out the side or hit for the cycle?
Hit for the cycle for sure.
Okay. That one was probably too easy. Hit for the cycle or multi-homer game. That's a better one.
I still think hit for the cycle. I think it's so like unreal when someone does it. I couldn't believe that
100%.
my oldest brother did it against Maine this year.
Oh, nuts.
That was unreal.
That was nuts.
When I watched him leg out a triple, I really couldn't believe it. I was like,
Well, I believe. Yeah.
he's hitting a triple. What?
Yeah, I mean, nuts. The thing that helps is Maine's field is ginormous.
Yeah, it's a big field. Well, he hit the fence and he got a good bounce.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
what you have to have. For a triple, you kind of have to have like the perfect bounce.
Yeah.
Okay, are we Green Monster or Pesky's Pole?
I think the Green Monster's so cool. It's so iconic.
100%. Are you Fenway or I mean I don't know if there's any better ones than that. We'll say what would you rather hit in? Would it be like a Fenway or would it be like a Yankee Stadium?
I mean, if I was trying to hit more home runs, I'd probably say Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
That little
fair.
popsicle stand, but
Yeah.
I think there's no environment quite like Fenway, so I think I'd rather hit a home run in Fenway for sure.
Okay. Um, Randy Johnson or Nolan Ryan? Which one?
Like Are you saying if I had to hit off of them or like as a pitcher in general?
If you could have one of their repertoires, which one you taking?
I'm going with Randy Johnson.
Okay.
There's not much quite like that.
Okay. No, I mean that's fair. And he's freaking what? He's 6'7" and twirls it like crazy. That
Yeah,
extension on that is
he's
nuts.
basically sidearm. He's throwing 100 miles an hour in his prime.
Yeah, and his extension is nuts. So it's like in reality, it's really like 120 for the
Yeah,
batters. Like
yeah,
nuts.
it's unreal.
Um, are you a big person like with the pitch com stuff? Have you like worked with any of that stuff before?
No, I actually haven't. I personally want to use it at Ellsworth. I hate like how easy it is for people to steal signs and stuff.
Oh yeah,
So I would prefer to use it, but we don't have them, and I've never used one before.
they're so interesting. I saw the other day. I don't know if you saw this. Uh, Salvador Perez, like for the Royals, obviously he's been there forever. Their pitch com is him talking to the. They like programmed it for his voice to be the one that comes out of the pitch com system.
That's
It's
pretty cool.
hilarious. They were going through it, and it's like heavy accent, obviously, because
Yeah,
he's from the Dominican. But it was hilarious. I was like, "That's awesome." That is just. He's like, "No, you're still gonna hear my voice. Like, you can't be away from me."
yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Oh, are you? Would you rather have like? Would you rather reverse the Mookie trade or the Rafael Devers trade? Given
Mookie,
now,
Mookie definitely. I think Rafi's a cancer to a team.
I mean, agreed. But
He was an
um,
unreal player, but he's
yeah.
just a bad teammate.
Um, worst contract given out in your opinion by the Red Sox.
I don't
There's some
know.
really bad ones in there.
When you said worst contract, the one that came to my mind, not a Red Sox, was Chris Davis. That was the one that popped into my
Oh my
head directly
lord,
when I heard
that was
worst contract.
awful. I mean, fair.
Ugh, I don't even know. We've,
Some
as a
really
big
bad
market
ones in there.
team, I never really think to care that much about like bad contracts because we haven't had a crazy bad one because we've dumped all our good players as of recently.
Yeah, the one that sticks out to me that's like most recent, really bad contract is the Pablo Sandoval contract that
Oh
was given
yeah,
to
yeah,
him. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
stupid money, and he doesn't play
He
at all.
yeah, he was not good.
No, and then obviously like you have the like, way back. I mean, Rusney Castillo gets that, which probably you probably wouldn't have even been watching baseball at that time. But Rusney didn't even play a game in the majors. It was like one of the less like hype prospect contracts that they give out now, but back then it wasn't very common. And he was a number one prospect for a long time, and they gave him like a stupid like 10 million a year. Back when 10 million was a lot of money, and he played like 15 total games in the bigs or something like that. He was so bad.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I see. There's been some bad ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
We get rid of all of our expensive players now as the Red
correct. Yeah,
Sox. So
for some reason, as the one of the most popular teams in the country, shed all of the money that like we make plenty of money. Why are we doing that? Okay. Oh, that's a better. Let's go on. I'll end on this one because I think this is a good one. What New England sports team, if you could pick today, out of all of them, the Patriots, Red Sox. I don't know if you watch hockey. You can pick them, the Bruins, or the Celtics. Which one, if you could choose which one wins a championship the soonest, who would it be?
I got to go with my Sox.
Okay.
But the Celtics won one
Yeah.
recently, and
Yeah.
the Patriots, they're just they've won so many. It's like not
Yeah.
special. So
Yeah.
I think it'd be sweet to see the Sox win again.
If you could pick who they beat, who do you want them to beat in the World Series? If you
The
could pick.
Dodgers, 100%. I would be so nervous going into the series, but I'd love to see them beat up on the Dodgers.
Were you watching avidly in 2018?
I was. That was a fun series.
Nuts. Game that went deep into the night, the extra like 18 whatever it was, 18 inning game. Oh lord. So I stayed up for that whole thing like a crazy person.
Yeah, my favorite as a Red Sox fan was that the series was ended with Sale striking out Machado.
Oh,
Like
beautiful.
so perfect that Machado was the last out of that game for the Sox.
Yep. We'll never forgive him for what happened to Dustin Pedroia.
Mm-mm.
Because Petey was my favorite player. I had Petey jerseys all over the place. I played second base basically all the way through. Because I was just, I was the contact good fielder, and they're like, yeah, go play second. Uh, and so yeah, I always loved Dustin Pedroia, but then yeah, I mean, get a spike to the back of the leg, and then they're never the same. Okay, I think that's it for me. Um, I'll give you the chance to close it out. Say whatever you want to say here at the end, and then I will close us out afterwards.
All right, I'd just like to say thank you for having me, and thank
Of
you
course.
to all the people who listen. And yeah,
All right. You want to let the people know that I don't. You're not obviously don't play football this time of year. Do you play soccer?
no, I don't.
Okay. What you got going on? Anything coming up relatively soon for you?
Fall basketball starts up soon, but it's
Okay.
just like once a week we play
Got you.
games. But
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. Obviously, watch Ellsworth play plenty this year, basketball and baseball, and obviously Hudson. Keep an eye on them. Okay. Perfect. Thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate it. Um, just like you said to all those who are going to watch, share it up, do all the stuff with it, and we'll see you next time.